Good morning, everybody. We are dealing with John Keats's Ode to Autumn. Keats, 1795 to 1821, we said, is a wonderful English romantic poet. He is one among the second generation of the romantic poets, along with Lord Byron and P.B. Shelley. Though died at a very early age because of tuberculosis at the age of 25, he is very well remembered for the beautiful odes that he has written, and also poems like Endymion, Hyperion, and the Eve of St. Agnes. Ode to Autumn is one of his famous odes, along with the other odes like Ode to Nightingale, Ode to Psyche, Ode on a Grecian Urn, Ode on Melancholy, and Ode on Indolence. The 11 odes that he has written. Today, critics believe that if only these odes are remaining and the rest of his poetry is burnt off, Keats is still as famous as he is. So these odes are so beautiful. Ode to Autumn is an ode that is written by the poet celebrating the autumn season, which comes after the summer and just before the winter, because it is the season of ripeness, fruitfulness, and maturity. The poem, in fact, celebrates the maturity and ripeness of not only nature, but also its relation to human life. The very first stanza glorifies and elevates the autumn season with various metaphors and personifications. And it is attributed as female and is qualified by two attributes, a season of mists and a season of mellow fruitfulness. So he has described the entire season in terms of the fruits that are available, the vegetables that are available, the flowers and the honeybees and the honeycomb that is full of honey. It is the fullness, ripeness, and sweetness that the entire autumn season is full of. Let us go ahead to the second stanza. The second stanza depicts the autumn amid the busy world of commerce. And so now it is the shift of the common business of engagements that you could see in autumn season. He starts his second stanza by telling, "Who hath not seen thee oft amid thy store?" Now, autumn season is personified as an old woman, and it is addressed as if all have seen this autumn season, which is personified as a woman, in the middle of any of the activities that are done, the farming as well as the vegetation activities that are done in the villages. Sometimes whoever seeks abroad may find thee sitting careless on a granary floor. Granary is a storage place where all the grains are stored. After the harvest is over, after the grains are removed and the grains are stored in the granary, because all these activities take place in the autumn season. So, autumn season is personified to have been seen as a woman if somebody sits on the granary store, as if she's sitting on the granary store. Thy hair soft lifted with a clammy wind. Clammy again sticky, maybe because of the same reason of stickiness that you could find in the first stanza. And her hair soft lifted with a clammy wind, or on a half reaped furrow, sound asleep. Now, furrowing also is an activity that has been done. Furrowing is a trench that you could see that is cut in the soil due to the plow. So it is the field is all cut. So you could see her sitting maybe on a furrow um, on the field, or you might have seen her with her hair loose, sitting on the granary floor, drowsed with the fume of poppies. So the poppy field is cut. Poppy is supposed to induce a sort of sleep. Now, sleep indicates a sort of death. Maybe it is the indication of the season that is going to come following autumn season, which is winter. So it has got the poppy fields cut, and maybe sometimes you would be seen, autumn season is seen as an old woman sitting on the furrows of the poppy fields while they hook spares the next sheaf. What a wonderful way of telling. While they hook spares the next swath. Swath is a group of grain that a farmer catches in one hand and cuts with the help of his scythe. So this also is an activity. Reaping of the field or cutting of the field also is an activity that you could see in the autumn season. So sometimes she is seen as if an old woman on the granary store, or maybe on the furrows that of the poppy fields that is already cut, or sometimes she is seen on the grain that is cut with the help of the scythe in one sweep, right? And all its twined flowers, and sometimes like a gleaner, A gleaner is a person who collects the remaining in the field after harvesting. Thou dost keep. So all harvesting activities have been observed: the granary floor, the empty furrows, the the grains that are cut with the help of a scythe, or maybe the gleaner. The gleaner is the person who collects the grains after harvesting. Steady thy lad and head across a brook, or by a cider press. Cider is apple. Cider press is apple juice extractor. So she also, because it is a season which is full of apples, and the apples are collected and apples are crushed in the juicer to produce the apple juice. Sometimes, even in this activity, autumn season is seen. So, or by a cedar press with patient look, thou watches the last oozing hours by hours. So, the last oozing is the apple juice, the drops that are dropping down from the juicer. Even the last drop of the juice has been observed because autumn season gets over, giving rise to winter there. So the second stanza completely talks about all the farming activities that one could see. It is the shift to the common business of the engagements of the autumn. The harvesting is over, the farmers are doing the work that follows the harvesting. Their granary is full, the autumn is taking take care of the granary, the winnowing is being carried out in the field, and one can witness the soft hair of a serene and somber lady that is autumn. Sometimes one can see autumn leaning on the half-reaped furrow. At another times it is seen as in a drowsy state as if fed on poppies. Sometimes she is seen in the field like a gleaner collecting the leftover in the field after the main harvesting is done. The autumn has almost finished her assigned duties towards the nature, and now she is enjoying the retiring mood of fullness by observing the making of the apple cider and its gradual oozing. She is at ease and in no hurry. This is representative of the human life also. The autumn of the human life is having completed all the responsibilities and duties of life, relaxing and moving towards old age. So the second stanza completely describes all the activities that are done on the field and maybe by man related to the farming activities, whether it is winnowing, whether it is gleaning, whether it is cutting, whether it is granary store, or whether it is apple juice extraction. The third stanza is quite interesting. It continues the mood of contentedness and relaxation of the serene autumn. The autumn also marks the end of the warm season and prepares one for the coming of the season of death or winter or coldness. So the autumn is not praised or hailed as the spring is. The spring is the season of the resurgence of life, of sprouting of leaves, of life, and of brimming of youthness. It is loved, hailed, glorified, and sung by millions of poets. However, the maturing autumn also needs to be concerned about the songs of the spring and grief at heart. The autumn has her own music, and so the poet says, where are the songs of spring? Ah, where are they? The spring season has got the songs of life, birth, happiness, mirth, and so on and so forth. Think not of them, thou hast thy music too. So, autumn has got its own beauty, beautiful music. While barred clouds bloom the soft dying sun, it is all cloudy now because it is autumn season. The sun is completely covered with the clouds and touch the stubble plains with rosy hue. Hue is color. Rosy is the rosy hue of the sun on the stubble plains. This is so beautiful. Stubble is the short stalks in the field after cutting the crop. The yellow colored or yellowish green or greenish brownish, yellowish brownish leftover of the cut off field is what is called a stubble here, and touch the stubble plains with rosy hue. So the maturing sun, the setting sun is spreading a rosy hue on the yellow colored, stubbled plains where the field is already cut. And then in a wailful choir, wailful a bit sorrow, choir is a song that is sung in groups. In a wailful choir, the small gnats moan, Gnats. Gnats is almost small insects that move about and you could see in the autumn season. the onset of the fall of rain, or maybe the onset of winter is being proclaimed by the gnats. So you could find a number of gnats moving about on the field as if mourning the end of life, the end of autumn season. Mourn is to feel sorry, to cry. Among the river sallows is yellowish green or yellowish colored skin of the earth, borne aloft, in a small stream. Imagine a small stream or a small river, and on either sides you could find the fields are already cut, and half remaining grass of the cut field has turned yellowish or brownish, and on this the setting sun is spreading its orangish or pinkish sunlight, and the gnats are moving about, thereby indicating the end of the day or the end of the autumn season and the onset of night or the onset of winter season, which is symbolic of death, or sinking as the light wind lives or dies. So the breeze is blowing up slowly, chilly, thereby indicating that it is going to be winter from now onwards, night from now onwards, and full grown lambs, loud bleat from hilly bone. So bone is something of that sort of stream. From the stream, this lamb is coming back. Lamb, sheep, and lamb are coming back, bleating loudly. So it has got a sound of the gnats. It has got the sound of the bleating of the lamb that is coming back. Hedge crickets. Hedge crickets also are slightly bigger insects, which are normally seen before rainfall. Hedge crickets are insects. They have their own song. The hedge crickets sing, and now with the trebles of the redbreast. Redbreast is a bird. Whistles from the garden croft. So from the fence of the garden, the redbreast has got its own song. If spring has got the songs of nightingales and cuckoos and quails, the autumn season also has got its own song. Like the gnats are mourning, the hedge crickets are singing, and the redbreast is whistling from the garden croft. And gathering swallows twitter in the skies. So the swallows are the birds. Normally, these birds migrate from the colder regions to the warmer regions. So you could find these swallows making a particular sound and are coming back from the colder regions to the warmer. They go for migration into the warmer regions. So just like the spring season has got its own beautiful colors and music and birds and animals, similarly the autumn season also has got its own music, and this music is full of the gnats mourning, the hedge cricket songs, the redbreasts, whistling, and the swallows that are coming back to the warmer place. So the autumn is not praised or hailed as the spring season is. The spring has got its own life, but the autumn also has got its own beauty, has got its own music and colors. The maturing autumn need not be concerned about the songs of the spring and grieve at heart. The autumn has her music also, of serenity, of somberness, of maturity, of ripeness, and of fruition, as well as of contentment. Nature is not painted chilly green as in the spring season, but it is colored in sunset yellow with its golden ambience. The birds and the crickets and the small insects are singing the sad yet somber and soulful choir as in a church, and the swallows and twittering in the sky. They are not worried about the fast approaching season of winter that would lead them to the snowy wintry bed. Rather, they are enjoying the sweetest songs offered by departing autumn. Hence, autumn has her own music as well. The poem ends in the third stanza in the shooting tone of consolation to the departing season of mists and mellow fruitfulness. Thus, the poem, Ode to Autumn, ends celebrating the autumn season, its activities, its beauty of nature, its activities on the farm, as well as its music and colors. Hope you have enjoyed the entire ode of John Keats. Stay tuned for the next videos, and bye for now.